screen.
Okay.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, so today I don't have any slide, but I will try to show some hands-on, like some of the new features which is there in .NET 9. So we'll try to cover them. Let me just open this and like close and open this. My system needs formatting now. Got very slow. Just okay. So basically, you need to download .NET 9, .NET SDK 9, and you have to upgrade your Visual Studio 2022 for this, like to run .NET 9 in your Visual Studio. So Visual Studio reinstallation is not required, but you can just upgrade to the latest version of the 2022 community version only. And .NET 9, you can download the SDK and install it. Okay, so once you install the SDK, So anything you, any project you like create over here, you will see that option of like creating .NET 9 project. So let me just remove this unwanted code. Is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen is clear.
Okay. So I will just remove this one also. I will just create a console application from the beginning. Okay. So this is my solution where I have created a web application that is like web API application. So I will just create a console application first to see some new features in C#. So let me just add a new project. Okay. So here you can see that you can create a console application for any language. Like you can create for F#, you can create for C#. So let me create it for C# now. So I will just go here, select my language as C#, console application, next. Okay. So it is giving me the project name as. So I will just continue with this. So here you can see that you can like see different options like .NET 6, 7, 8, 9. So since I have already installed 9, so I am saying .NET 9 option. You can enable your Docker support. Now I don't need it, so I'm not enabling it. And also AOT publish is something like we can check in the later sessions. So I am also not needing it now, so I will just not enable it. Okay, so I will just continue with this. Okay, so this is basically your console application, which can be run as a like in the as a back job in the cloud or as a cloud run job or any other like functional job basically. So as you can see, the normal print statement is there. Hello world. I am not going to use this. So we'll see some new features of C#, which has been in .NET 9. Okay. So before to begin with that, would little bit like to talk about LinkU. So LinkU is a language integrated query, and it is kind of a very useful and efficient query language which is used in C# very generically. Like it was not in the like not new something new in .NET 9, but it was there like I think from the version 3.5 or 3. Now can't remember. It's an old thing which is kind of like we generally use it, the lambda expression, link queue queries and all. So now in the link queue only we will see some added features have come, which are very like useful. So let's see all those features. So I will be just using some libraries here, which are very generic library. So these are some of the very generic libraries of C#, and these are not also new to .NET 9. Imported all the useful libraries here. Now, where have you seen ever like how link you used in we use in our normal programming? So little bit giving the brief of that link you, like how it works. So let me just create two classes. One is the main program class. And I will just create a main function over here. Hopefully my syntax are okay. Is say a product class. Attributes. Let's say public product name. That is in stock or out of stock. Now, I will create some data for this one, like for this class. So basically, what I will do here is I will take the object of this product class. And we'll take a list of this. I will put product name as say, TV and category as and upgrade and in top true. Okay, so let me just add this some of the data. Some of this, like the names and all. put something else, I will put. Okay, so this is my data now. Now, generally, how do we use link over here? So we use link to query on this data set. Okay, so it can be a very big data set also. Here it is very small, that is fine. But it is a very useful technique to query using lambda expression. That is what we do with link here. Okay, so let's see some querying feature over here. So let's say if I want to see only the electronics product here. So what I will do here is my products dot, I will put a where. Okay, and here I will put a lambda expression. So I will put x. So x is nothing but my each product, or it also called as a lambda expression, x dot category equal to electronics. Anything else over here? And this is done. Okay. Maximum I can do, like if I am taking, like since I have already taken that, so it is I enumerable object kind of object. It's the list object basically. If you want to specify this is a list also, like not much change is there. So if you just want to say that this is a list of product, then I have to just make it to list product. That's it. No other change should be needed here. So it will be querying only the from the dataset only the electronics category. So this is how LinkQ is very useful. Even you can do like lots of things, lots of other things, like you can see that whether any product is existing here. So you can check that products. So you can check a if statement, say, with the if statement. So if products dot any, sorry, products dot any, and again you can put some lambda expression. Let's say I want to see a product name, so I will just put x dot product name equal to uh, let's say any other thing which is not here. So I will put, say, washing machine. Okay, so it will just check from the list that whether this washing machine product is present or not, and accordingly it will give me true or false. So you can just do a console.write line also here on this. So you will just get a Boolean value basically. Okay, so if I just print this, it will just like it will be giving me that whether washing machine is there or not, so either true or false. So let me just run it. And for running it, since I have opened with this application, now if I go to run this, this application will run. So I have to actually set my start project. So I have to set a start project for this application, and then I can run this. Thing went off. Let me just check. Okay, I haven't put semicolon. Right. Yes. It doesn't take so much of time. My machine is very slow. That's why it's taking a little bit of time to run. Okay, so as you can see that it is not existing in the list, so it is giving me false. Okay, so likewise, like different things you can do here. Like you can do group, you can get maximum, minimum. So all these things you can do over here. Okay. Now what is new in .NET 9? So let's see. So link queue is very effective, and I generally use like lots of link queue in my programming. So let's see what's new in .NET 9 in link queue. Okay. So 4 5 features have like additional features have come. One is group by, then it's count by. So previously, when we have to do group by, we have to write added like additional, basically additional piece lines of code. But now it is integrated. So count by, aggregation by, and mean by, max by. All these features are new. Okay. Now let's say one by one. Okay. So let's take count by. Count by. X dot category I will take. X dot category. Okay. Now let's see what is coming over here. Let's do a console. So if you see here, this is basically giving variable. So it is very basically giving me I enumerable. I think so. Yeah, I enumerable kind of variable it is giving me. Like I enumerable, like the least of key value there basically. So let me just put a for loop on that condition on that. Okay, so let me just run this again. Okay, so as you can see that we have 3 electronics category, 2 furniture category and 2 office category. So all the count by has come, like it is grouped by electronics and then given the count. So this is how it is working. Similarly for the group by also. So, and you can put different logic over here. Like you can put some different conditions also, like dot count by and dot select, and you can put your own conditions in the lambda expression. So that is the beauty of LinkU actually. So let us take group by as well. Okay. Let's take count. So price now count and taking. So count. Okay, so this is it. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm grouping by category again. Okay, and then I'm putting a select statement and taking all the group like in the key value pair, like taking all the group as a key and count as a value. So this is what it is doing here. Now these and these are same, but here in the group by you can put certain like some other conditions as well. Even for the count, you can put some other conditions. So you here in the select statement, you can put some other conditions like in like how to group or any other where condition you can put. So that will be giving you the flexibility to do a like advanced group by. So let me also run this code. So I will just use this statement only for each statement. Okay, remaining things are fine. So let's just run this. Okay, you are getting the same thing because I have done count by category also and group by also by category. If any other attribute is also there, you can check with the same similar attributes and putting some more conditions to this. Okay. Now the last one is I will show here is in this link view feature is aggregate by. And this one actually I found very interesting one because for doing this we have to like loop through for loop and all for doing the same thing. So this one is really very helpful. Let me just write the code, then I will explain the code also. I have declared the seed, then okay, let me just take this as decimal because I mentioned that as okay. Okay, so this is the aggregate price. So what it is doing basically, so it is basically like doing the aggregation of the price by category. Okay, so let's also run this. And this is like done in just one line of code. Like nothing I have to like nothing, no for loops and nothing is read over here. And if you check, this code is also very simple. Like it is just taking like aggregation by category. First I'm putting in the lambda expression. Then I'm defining this. What is this? This is just a seed value. So this value is basically the initialization value for this cat price, like category wise price basically. So that means I am initiating it with a zero value, and then kind of I am taking all the prices for that category and adding it up. So this is actually basically giving me the aggregation price. So again here two lambda expressions are used. So one is here and one is here. So this is basically what the code is talking about. Now let me just print it again. Okay, and let's just put some like aggregated price of. So here you see that it has given an aggregation of the electronics price, all furniture price together and all office supplies price together. So it is doing an aggregation just in one line of code. So these are the two, three things which has come like a very, like handy features in LinkU. So those people who use LinkU, they probably will be very, like this will be facilitating them. Okay, and one more things are like mean by and max by. So similarly only like you can use mean by the price or max by the price. So likewise, you can get a minimum price by category, maximum price by category. So you can just try it out. The same like code you can just run over here. So just not running this like further on mean by and max by. Okay, so this is basically on the link you part. Now, two three things I will cover here. So this is one thing I liked very much. So this one I covered, and second thing is that in the web application, um, there is no Swagger now. So in .NET 9, congratulations, we don't have Swagger. So you have actually the JSON which you can use with any other UI. If you want to use any extended UI, you can do some documentation, API documentation, and can use it. Like if any ready-made documentation you get for that, you can use it. So basically, it is open. So on the developers, like how they want to document it, even for with any third-party, basically third-party providers, they can like it can be integrated and you can create your documentation. So let's see that also. So I will just open this console app application because it is taking the bandwidth. So I will just remove it. Any questions on this? Okay, no questions. And here, if you see, like generally when we build a normal API from in .NET, we get these two files. Like one is weather forecast controller, which is there already in the template. So you just can try like or test the controller basically, like whether your API is running fine or not. And there is a model, like for model for this controller. So I am not using this. Like I will be definitely testing with this controller only. Now, what is here? Like when you create this, actually, so this part, like we use the Swagger, this thing like Swagger mapping. So that Swagger mapping is completely absent here. So you forget this thing. So once I create this, actually, I only get this code here. Okay. So it is an open API documentation which gives you nothing but a JSON file. And that JSON file you can extend it to any other UI. So basically we don't have Swagger here. So how it looks like, I will show you, like just with open API. So in the launch settings also, like if you go to the launch settings of this API application, there is no launch URL. So this actually I have included while I was testing. So when you just open this application, you don't have a launch URL here. And your launch browser is also false. So if you are running this application, though the server will be starting, but you don't get to see anything or test your APIs. So that is what is happening. So what I have done is I have made my launch browser true, and I have given a launch URL as OpenAPI v1.json. Now, if I run this code, what happens? So let me just run it. There are some other features also added. SignalR, there is some advanced SignalR in .NET now. So we don't have to struggle with SignalR like before. So .NET SignalR now is very comprehensive and advanced. We can try that in the next sessions. So this is how the actually the URL is opening, and you can see that nothing is there. So if I just go here, like my open API, and this was it URL I was trying, and I have put in the launch URL also, like v1.json. API v1.json. Server is coming. Yeah. So this is the JSON you get here, like the Swagger JSON we get. And this JSON actually you can implement with any other third-party tool, or you can build your own UI to test your APIs and all. So this is what, like there is a flexibility to use this JSON in different manner. Okay, so I have also used some code which is also like which also I got from the internet only. So I will just show you that how I am using this JSON in another code. So let me just try that out now. So basically, I have taken a scalar extension. So this is nothing but a class. And this code also I have found from Google only. So basically, I have written a function over here to map my endpoints and map scalar UI. And there is some HTML document like HTML code, which is basically incorporating this JSON like inside. So it is kind of building this JSON inside to give you a UI kind of a feature so that you can test your APIs and all. Nothing else. That's it. So this Open API v1.json is getting basically like it is basically using that same JSON and giving you the UI. So this code I will be using over here in my program.cs. So instead of using this one like Open API, I will be using Open Scalar like Map Scalar UI. So basically my function name is Map Scalar UI here. Okay, and this is basically I am imbibing over here. So I will just uncommenting this code. Okay, nothing else I have done here, only this. So this file can be extensively used across, or you can build your own UI also, that is fine. But you have to ingest that JSON which is getting built here to get your UI. So I will run this code again. Okay, now here I have to give a route path. So that is scalar v1. So v1 is a document name. So I am just telling the scalar like function that read this document v1. So now you are getting a UI over here, where you can test your API. So you can get a dark mode or a lighter mode. So it is pretty good. Even we can design our own UI here. Just we have to ingest that JSON in the similar fashion. So now if you just go get weather forecast, if you click here, you can see you can get the curl request here. You can test this request and you can see that what kind of response you will get here. So test request, send. So you can see the response here. You can check your header parameters, whatever you are sending, like we test in the APIs. So all these things you can actually see here, the documentation part. Okay, now if I close this and if I scroll up a little bit, so I will get a client of like client code to build. So suppose if I want to use this API in my application in my front end. So how I will use it? I can get a client code. So I will search for C# code maybe, or maybe Python code, anything you want to like you are using for your application, you can take accordingly. Okay, so there are so many HTTP client code is there. If I want Python code, I will take Python code. If I want to take C# code, so I will take a C# code. So if you here you can see that client code is also ready. Like you have to just incorporate this code in your system and you can use this API. So if I just want to test this, so again it is just opening the same kind of testing the forecast basically. So I can actually test this code in my console application, like whether this code is running or not. So this is it, guys. Like you can actually, there is some flexibility where how you want to document your API, and Swagger is not there anymore. So basically, Swagger was not advancing as the way .NET 9 was, like requiring it. So kind of Microsoft has stopped using Swagger, and there are certain maybe some advanced UI can come, but still now it is not there. So we have to invite some other third-party UI or build our UI to ingest this Open API JSON basically. Okay, any questions? Okay, so now I think this part I have covered. So let's see some F# and ML.NET. So let's begin with that. So there are lots of AI features which has been imbibed in .NET 9 now. So let's see some of those features. But before going to even ML.NET and AI, let's start with F sharp. So a little bit we will have some overview of F sharp, then we can go to ML.NET. So F sharp code is nothing. You can actually add another project in the same solution, or you can create a new project altogether. Depends on you. Like for testing, you can just add creating projects over here. So I will just stop the code first. New project. Okay. So you can take a console application of F sharp. Okay. So here you can use F sharp. Another way of using F sharp also I will tell. So if I use here the language F sharp, I can select the console application. The similar things what you can get in C sharp, you can get in F sharp as well. You can create your web APIs and everything in F sharp as well. Only difference is like F sharp is a mathematical, like functional language basically. So there is a little bit syntax difference from C sharp and F sharp. F sharp is kind of very compressed coding. It's a functional, like statistically typed language. So we have only inputs and outputs. Okay, so no type interference is there. So let me just create one project. Okay, so now I am there in F sharp. Now let me just change it to the start project. This project as start project. Okay, so there is a print statement. Okay, I won't run it. Before running it, I will show you how you can run this in Visual Studio code also. So let me just open VS Code. So there you can actually build some interactive F sharp um, notebooks like Python notebooks. I am audible, right?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So here, 2, 3 extensions you have to download for running F sharp. So once you download Microsoft like .NET SDK, you can go here and you can search for F sharp and check what are the extensions available. So I have downloaded few. So this .NET, so basically you can run F sharp and Python code both together. So how to do it? So basically, if you go here in your folder, project folder, you can see that I have created a Python notebook, like Python code basically, and also a Python notebook. So test IPYNB is nothing but a Python notebook. So if I just open this, so it is an interactive notebook which is coming over here. So you can just run your code like line by line over here. And there is also a F sharp notebook which I have created over here. So here, this is a F sharp notebook. Okay, so you can write a piece of code over here. So let's say printf. I think I need syntax error was coming. Yeah. So here you can see that it is running here. So this is how you can run both the notebooks together to check the performance, like which one is performing better or not. So you can run both the notebooks together. So generally I do this a lot. Like I use F# a lot, like for practicing only. Okay, so this is like the way you can open F# in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I will just close this because I don't need this now. I just want to show how to open F#. Yeah. Okay. Now there are certain features of F#. So those who haven't have never worked in F#, it's kind of fun. Like F#, if you like work, it is kind of a programmer's challenge. So I like it too much. So basically, let us see some of the features over here. We add some library first. So for C Sharp we use using, for Python we use import. So for F Sharp we use open. So open is kind of, we are importing that package. Okay. So one thing is like a simple F Sharp code, how it looks like is, so there is no like type interference basically. So everything is in the form of function. So like we define in Python, like def, in C sharp we use a like a void or some like function type basically. Like it's a string function, like if it is returning string, or void if it is not doing anything, like it is not returning anything. So likewise, F sharp, everything in F sharp, everything is a function. So there is no basically it is type is not required. So it is kind of type interference. So the first feature is called as type interference. If there is a function and we define it as let. So our first keyword is let. So let's say if we do a let addition, so let add x y equal to x plus y. So this is the function how it is defined, just one line of code. So you are just passing two parameters, x and y. You are adding that up and returning x plus y. So it is just a mathematical function like y equal to fx. That's it. So here is a function add where you are passing xy and you are getting x plus y. Now if you want to print this, so that's it. So I am just passing these two numbers here to add, and let's check the result. Yeah, so you get the result as 15. So this is how it is, like a very simple code, a very English-like code. Nothing is there much to like understand the syntax. Okay, now the second feature of this is pattern matching, and this is a useful feature, very very useful feature. Okay, so it is basically like simplifying the control flow and the like how you handle your data structure. So let me just write a function over here. So what I will give the function, okay, let's say describe. Okay, match x with . Now, operator is often used in F sharp. So this is a pipe operator. So match with 1. And if it matches with 1, then it will give me 1. Okay. Will give me 2. If it matches with, let's say, underscore, gives me something else. Okay. So this is my function. I have described it. Now, print statement. Print fm type number, and let's say I'm passing 2. Okay. So this is a very what to say, like, very simple code, and it is used in many things. Like if you do a conditional matching or anything, so it will just do a pattern matching, and kind of it is very simplified code, and it will give you the return of the result. So let's just run it. So you can see that the pattern matches with 2, and it is giving me the result as 2. Okay, so this is running fine, but it is kind of used in very complex conditions as well, like for pattern matching. Okay, and third interesting feature is immutability. So it is like you cannot change anything here. So once you declare a list or a basically it's kind of like it acts as a tuple. You cannot change anything on that list, on that particular array or anything. Okay, you can define another array, but you cannot change anything. So this actually helps lots of time in parallel programming or in concurrent programming. So let's say that let's define an array. An array is defined like this. It's the syntax. Now let me define a new array. Okay, and okay. So the lines of code are very simple. Like actually, it reduces lots of effort. Now, can anybody guess that what will be the this thing here? Can anyone guess this? What will be the answer here? Print value. If it's wrong, it's fine. Just guess it. Give a wild guess. Anyone?
I think everything will be printed as 0.
Okay. Anyone else? Any wild guesses? Anything. Anything you can guess. That can be wrong. Not a problem. Anyone? Okay. Anyone else? Any wild guesses? Anything. Anything you can guess. That can be wrong. Not a problem. Anything you can guess. That can be wrong. Not a problem. Anyone? Okay. Anyone else? Any wild guesses? Anything. Anything you can guess. That can be wrong. Not a problem. Just want to understand that how it feels like what you
Uh,
feel.
I I think it will be printed 1 to 3.
Okay. Okay, let's run this code. So I haven't talked about this operator basically. Okay, we'll see. So this is the answer.
It added 0 to the start.
Correct. So basically it is appending. So first value, since I have put 0, so this operator is basically it is appending the another list to it. So this is how like it is very like very clean code, very simple to use code. So basically it's also only there are some operators which you know it is kind of wonders. Okay, some other examples also I will show. Then there is one more feature as discriminated unions. Okay, so this is basically mostly used in the domain modeling. Okay, kind of you can put some condition for very distinct cases and you can check. So let's see, like you will understand what how it comes. So let's define one cycle of load value and so basically type shape is nothing but it is the like the inbuilt function basically inbuilt function or inbuilt type which is there in the .NET. So there is a cycle, rectangle, all these are basically the one type of shape basically. So it's rectangle of load into now define area shape. Sorry, this is circle. Circle. Circle for yeah. So I am defining basically the radius. Like if the thing is circle, like the type is circle, then it will give a circle's radius. If it is rectangle, it will give a rectangle's radius. That's it. So now, yeah, open. Okay, so this is a code, and I think you guys have already guessed like what will be the answer. The answer will be pi into r square. So pi into 5 into 5. So that will be the answer. So this is basically, like very much used in, like one is the, like it is it has blended pattern matching with this. Another thing is that you can do lots of domain modeling with this. So this is a very useful thing to be handled in a very complex situation. So I shown in a very on a very simple use case. So let me just run this. Okay, so you can see the area has come. So this 5 into 5 into 5. So this is the area of the circle. Okay. Now another interesting operator that is kind of my favorite. So let me just put it here. Pipeline operator. Okay. Then my use case is I have a number. Okay. So let my number be 5. Okay. And then I want to square it. Add 3 to it. Okay. Then I want to find out whether it's even or not. Okay. Then let's say I want to do another operation, some other operation. Let's say I want to divide it by 2 or say divide it by 3. Okay. Now tell me if I have to do it in Python or any other programming language, let's say React or not, Node, Next or anything. How you will do it? And like these are the basically, like basically various functions which I want to mean here. Like you have a parameter, but it is going through different functions. So how you will do it? Anyone? Anyone? Just explain how you will do it. Come on, yaar. Be it interact. How like you have to just pass the parameter to different functions. How you will write it? I don't want syntax. Just tell me the like how you will write it. So let me just define. Like let's say you will define a function called square. I am just putting it in the layman terms. Okay. So basically, I will put a function square, where I will pass this parameter first. Okay. Then whatever return value, another function which is adding it up to 3. Just tell me if I'm wrong or you will do it otherwise. Okay. Then whatever value return I will get from here, I will pass that to even or not is even. Okay. Then whatever value I will get it from here, I will pass it to another function called adding or dividing by 3. Finally, I will get the result. So basically, I'm calling first this function. I am expecting some output from it. That output, I am sending it to this function. I am expecting some output from it. That output, I am putting it to some other function and expecting some output. On that output, I will put this operation and the final output is what I will be needing. Is this correct? Is this statement correct or you do it otherwise?
Yes, we have.
This is correct, right? Like you will
Yes,
define 6 to 7 functions wherever you want to put your variable to, and you will do one by one operation.
yes.
Correct? Okay. In F sharp, it is very simple. Okay, so let's try this. So let's say that I am first adding it up, okay? Or let's say I am squaring it. Let's say square. Whatever I have kept, I will put that. Okay. Let's square x. Net is given to. Now I'm putting the final result. Okay. So this is the beauty of the pipeline operator. Now follow it. Let's say my number is 5. Have you got what has happened here? Just only this line. So basically what is happening is
Multiple function calling. So 5 will be squared, then 3 will be added to it, and then
yeah,
it
so
there will be a check.
basically one by one, whatever output will be received from the first one, it will be moved to the second one. In the second, some operation will happen. The output will move to the third one, and likewise, you can put the same in the like a pipeline, long pipeline. Like it's just a one line of code. So basically, this is very, very useful in data science, wherein you do multiple operations. Like you clean the data, so you write a common function like cleaning the data. So you pass all the parameters over there. Then after cleaning data, you transform the data. You do some operations. Say you are handling the outlier, so you are just checking the IQR. So you can just define your functions and you can just run your data through a pipeline through the multiple operations. And you don't have to take care of anything else. It is just a kind of a seamless thing activity which will happen in this result. So this is basically the beauty of F sharp. I will stop here. We are a little bit over the time, like too much over the time actually. You can see true. So basically whatever output you are getting here, you can try out also like 5 squared up to 25. Then you add 25 to 3, that is 28, and 28 is 0. So this is true. So this is how the operation is happening. I will probably take another session to like actually implement some ML features in on the F sharp or C sharp. So let's take into like next week session. Like we will just cover some of the ML techniques. Meanwhile, you can look into these documentations. Like these links I can share with you guys, or you can just search for it. So if anyone is interested to learn F sharp, it is very, very actually very clear code, like very intelligent and very clear code. I like it. So if you also like, like feel some interest to learn it, So just go here, Microsoft, like learn.microsoft.com, and search for F#9. You can see some amazing things like what are the new features and what are the old features, everything. You can just try out the code here. There is a ML.NET also, like what is new in ML.NET. You can check this documentation and just try out some things like before the next session. And some of the pattern matching thing, like pattern matching use cases in F#, you can just check on this documentations. So basically you can see many use cases here, and this is really, really helpful. Like in our day-to-day coding, it is really very helpful where the conditions are very complex. So I hope this gives you some insight. So let's continue for the next session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.